Cousins, this package just arrived at the warehouse. I've been waiting for about a week and a half for it to come in. I'm going to show you what it is, and we're going to see, was this a good purchase or not?
A 1 and a 2 and Rusty the reseller, he'll sell you the shirt off his back. Well, I have done it.
Well, how you do, cousins? We've got a very exciting video for you today. Actually, you know what? Sorry, hold on a second. There we go. Let me pull these down. These pesky glasses. Anyhow, folks, today we're talking about some vintage collectible action figures you need to be keeping an eye on. Well, let's just jump into it. All right, folks, truth be told, I'm recording this little spot right now after I've recorded everything else in the video. But I got back on just to tell you, please stick around to the end of this video. Not for the same reasons that everybody else always tells you to do that, so that you'll watch the whole thing, but in reality, there is an actual surprise that surprised me. It just happened to be at the end of what I was doing, and I'm so glad I found it, and I want you to experience that excitement with me. Stay till the end. It's really incredible. Here she is, just arrived via UPS. Oh, I cannot wait. All right, need to cut this booger open here. All right, we need to get this guy opened up here. Okay, nice. Oh, okay. All right, let's see. I wonder how she's packaged up. I didn't cut this side. That was my fault. Okay. All right, there it is. Those of you who are familiar with this particular type of collectible will recognize this immediately. Okay. This guy is just difficult. Carrying case, pretty common. They got these little latches. I'm going to open the one on the side, one on the top, and one here. Now, this booger is supposed to be full. So I expect that these are going to fall out because the way that they were made, they got these little straps that come on either side that would hold them in, but over time they get broken, they fall out, and you can see, just as I predicted. Oh man, they're just hanging in there. Okay, so let me just let's get a quick rundown. Here he is. You know that's Darcy. Ooh, look at that! I am so happy. I did not know when I bought it that he had the telescoping looking. See right here, you put your finger in it and you push. Whoop! And there he is, got that lightsaber. That's exciting. I don't think that, well, that's not the one that would have it anyways, but. Okay, so let's just do a rundown here. I'm kind of going down through. What do we have? Ooh, look at this. Look at that guy. All right. Okay, going through. Nice. Whooping around. Yeah, Scout Trooper there. Just holding on for dear, Lando just holding on for dear life in here. Oh, he's hanging out with Leia. What is, that is scandalous. All right, let me pull these puppies out, or start pulling them out, and we'll talk about them. Now, when it comes to sorting through these, obviously these are vintage Star Wars action figures, and by vintage I mean from the late 70s to early to mid 1980s. 1977 was when the first movie came out, A New Hope. And so they made all these action figures, and on the back of them, typically right around here, you can see, let's see if I can zoom in. You can see right here, 1980, Hong Kong. And there are a variety, maybe 6 or 7 different places, maybe more than that, where they were actually made. But right now we're looking at a bunch of figures, and I'll have to, each one of them could be from a different place. So this is Leia, and you know, a lot of these figures are incomplete because they would have come with things like capes, they would have come with guns or staffs or various things like that. And I didn't see any accessories in here. We'll get into it. But anyhow, condition is the name of the game. I'm guessing there's going to be some condition issues in here, but I've already seen a couple of items that are fairly rare and hard to come by, which we'll go over in a moment. All right, we got our first round pulled out here, and we're going to go through. Now, folks, I know enough about this stuff to be dangerous, but I do not claim to be an expert. I'm about as much of an expert on vintage Star Wars characters as I am an expert at law and accountant. Okay, I'm not an accountant and I'm not a lawyer, right? I'm not an authority on vintage Star Wars figures. So feel free, if I say something here that's just straight up wrong, or if you have suggestions, please leave me a comment. Be kind. I'm, self-professed an amateur here, but okay, starting off here, I believe we have Leia. We got some serious condition here with the hands issues, as you can see, with the paint just kind of rubbed off in a lot of spots here. Heavy wear. These things got played with quite a bit, and they should have been, because these are such fun toys, and some kids had a great time. Here we have the Emperor. He's in gray, which is funny. LFL 1984. This right here, I believe, is what they call a scout trooper. This was from Return of the Jedi, if you recall, on the planet of Endor, the forest moon. Leia, and I believe it was Wicket, is that right? Encountered a couple of these guys, and there was that awesome chase through the woods and stuff like that with Luke. He's a pretty cool character. His particular gun is like this little gray one, and it's a little bit different and unusual, more unusual than a lot of the different accessories that came with these. They're harder to get. Now here's a guy, I don't remember his name, but he was also, I believe, from Return of the Jedi, and he had that amazing comb over in the front there. Just pretty awesome. And he's actually in pretty decent condition, to be honest with you. He's not that dirty. Got a little something there, a little smudge. I'm not going to mess with it too much. But I can tell several of these are quite dirty. Old Lando, he's looking... let's zoom in here. He's looking all right. There is a variation where he's got white teeth, but this is not that variant. You can see some wear on his fingers are turning blue because these were like painted, on their hands. It's like paint, and so it got kind of scraped off, and his rump has definitely seen better days. He's got some serious wear on his tuchus. I can't blame him. I mean, he's old. He's an old man these days. Now, here's one of the droid robots, and I don't remember this one's name, to be very honest with you. He should be like a much nicer white color. I may be wrong on that. Maybe he was originally like a light cream color, but this one has definitely undergone some serious discoloration over time from being out in the elements, in the light, or maybe this is just maybe it's just a variety of one where the plastic just sort of degrades and discolors over time. I'm not really sure what. And then I believe that this is Luke from Hoth. This was in Empire Strikes Back. Ooh, he's got a big, I don't know if that's supposed to be like that or not. This big divot in his back. Maybe that's the way the mold is, or maybe something has happened to him. But anyhow, he also has some discolor. You can see how white this is in the middle, and how just kind of, he's just dirty, flat out dirty. I think I may have to take just like a soft bristled toothbrush, right, and just some water, and lightly kind of clean some of this, because now I don't want to scrape too much, because again, we got areas like the feet, the hands. Some of these are the molded plastic, but other pieces, components, they've got sort of like a paint on them, and so I don't want to damage it any further than it already is, but I do want to clean it up if I can. And then we have Admiral Akbar here, his signature line, it's a trap. In 1982, Hong Kong, he's in pretty good condition, aside from the fact that he's dirty. Again, he's quite dirty. He does have some wear on his knuckles there, on his forearm a little bit, but his head's all right. I think if I clean him up, he'll be in pretty good condition. But then we have this poor Ewok here. I can't remember his name, but here's the thing. This particular one, sadly, has had his little forearm blown off by, I guess, an ATST. Something like that has just really done him in. He's got some serious discoloration on his leg, or maybe maybe that was replaced. I don't know. It's bizarre because if you look at his body and then you look at his right leg and you look at his left leg, it's a different color. They're all different colored. Look how different that is. That's been his toes have been chewed on, his arms have been blown off. He does have his little accessory here, so even though I don't think I could sell him except for scrap, I will take off his little accessory here, and I can sell that by itself. You may not be aware of this, but a lot of the common, more common figures are actually bring less value than their accessories, the guns and stuff. I saw somebody the other day posted something on a Facebook group, said, you know, how many of these old accessories are just lying in vacuum bags in landfills? How many hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of accessories are out there? The world will never know. All right, round two, folks, you're really going to see my lack of knowledge here, and so I apologize. This is really just to kind of show you what I got and give you a little bit of information. I'm not here to give you information on every detail about these figures. What I'm here to do is to tell you that these carry value and to be looking out for them and to know what to look for. This is a droid. I don't remember its name. I'm pretty sure it was in A New Hope. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the droid that Uncle Ben, Luke's uncle, was going to buy from the Jawas initially, and then it kind of overheated and blew up, and then he ended up buying R2-D2 instead. And, you know, of course, the rest is history. Here is some sort of bad guy pilot. I think this is maybe a TIE fighter pilot. Is that correct? If not, he's definitely on the dark side, okay? Hong Kong. He's in pretty good condition. He just needs to be cleaned up. But these are usually ones that I find are typically in pretty good condition. They don't have as much wear. Here's another Ewok. I think it's a common one. My goodness, he is so dirty. He's a little sticky. He's scratchy. He needs a bath pretty badly, like I'm sure most of the Ewoks do. Sure, they're cute, but come on. They're furry and they live in the woods, you know. Here we have some other pilots, fighter pilots. I think maybe these are fighter pilots in Hoth. Is that right? Perhaps I'm wrong, but they're white. They're not a regular stormtrooper. Hong Kong here, and 1980. Yeah, so 1980 would be during around that middle movie there, Empire Strikes Back. He's got a little wear on his booty. He's got some wear on his hands, some scrapes. This one here. Better condition for sure, still dirty, but pretty good condition with the paint on the head and all that. Oh, well, look at that rump. Goodness gracious, these things have been played with so much, it just kind of makes my heart happy. Some kid really loved this. Here we have, I believe this is what they call a B-wing pilot. And what we have, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He got a little nick there. Actually, I don't know. That might be able to be scraped off. Again, all of these are quite dirty. They've just been in a box in the garage or something. You know what I mean? For years. A little tacky to the touch. So they need to be cleaned up. But he's in pretty good condition overall. And then here we got the X-Wing pilot. This is Luke. And he's in his garb. Pretty loose. You can kind of see his legs just sort of fall down pretty easily. That's not ideal. He's got some scraped up back. He's been flying on lots of missions in some kid's house. Pretty great. And then we got this old droid here. At first glance, from a distance, you're like, oh, that's a C-3PO. But it's not. He actually would have a lot more black paint kind of on his head and his eyes and stuff. But it's so worn. It's all worn all the way down to that kind of light yellow, sort of that milky yellow plastic all over his body, as you can see. He was a nice, brilliant silver at one time, 1978, Hong Kong. I can't remember what this droid's name is either, but we're good. We've gone through, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 figures so far, and we're still going. We are rocking and rolling here, and I'm excited. Let's get back into it here. I don't remember this guy's name at all. Not even going to pretend like I remember it. He's some kind of, I think he's with the Resistance, I believe. He's not with the Empire, but Maybe I'm wrong on that too. But you can see he's in pretty darn good condition. He could use a little bit of cleaning, but he's really, really nice. Now we have two different C3POs here, and you can kind of tell just by looking which one is in better condition. That would be the one on my right. This one's got a few things. Look how bobbly his head is. Look at him. He just kind of moves around. The back of his head, he's just basically plastic. He's worn that. He looks like old Rusty. Rusty used to have beautiful curly locks, and now he's basically bald, essentially. Unfortunately, C3PO was in the same spot as this guy when the AT-AT or ATST kind of came and blew both of their limbs off. So they're going to sit together over here and just sort of cry. He's going to console him a little bit. We got C3PO here, pretty good condition overall. He's a little loose, his legs kind of dangle. That's not great, but he's okay, much better than the other one. Not perfect by any stretch, not anywhere close to it, but he's all right. And here's an exciting thing. Look at this. We got Ben. Now, Ben would have, not Ben, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, this would be, I think, considered the gray hair variant. So he's got kind of a grayish hair. There's one, he has white hair, but he also has this telescoping lightsaber here, but it's red, which is interesting. And then, or like orangish, I guess, rather. Well, I guess it's kind of a reddish orange, I don't know. But on the end here, there should be another secondary little piece that's smaller, and that has been broken off of this one. That's okay. I'm glad to have him. He doesn't have his cape on, but that's a pretty good figure right there, and he's actually in pretty decent condition. Along with the rest, I'm going to need to clean him a little bit, but that's okay. And then, of course, we have good old R2-D2. He's seen better days. The paint on him is actually quite nice, but the sticker with the picture has long been rubbed pretty significantly and worn. But he's still all right. He's definitely got quite a bit of discoloration on the little leg apparatuses here. There's several different variations of this that came out during the series. This one was the first. Then they had one where he has this little blue piece comes up. I believe they call that a sensor scope. And then at the very end, when they did the last few figures, there's one where he actually has a green lightsaber that would eject up just like he did in Return of the Jedi when he was on Jabba's ship. Here we go. We have a stormtrooper. And look how white his back is compared to the front. See how yellow that is? Again, this is either light damage. He's also got such creamy legs. Or just maybe degradation of the plastic over time. But I'm going to have to do some research, figure out the best way to clean that. Here we have, I don't remember if this is the ATST driver, or if this is like the AT commander. I think he's a driver. I think it's the ATST driver, but he's got this really cool helmet. I've always liked that helmet. I thought that was a cool looking helmet. Again, really white back, but his limbs are kind of a different color. Maybe that's supposed to be like that, but I just think, again, this is degradation of plastic coloring over time. Still a pretty cool character, I think. All right, here we go. Han Solo, friend. And I believe this is the first Han Solo, the one from the A New Hope. I think. I'm trying to remember. See if we can see the date here. What does that say on there? 1980. Okay, so maybe whoop, I dropped him. Maybe it's later, but look how rough his hands are. He's not wearing gloves, folks. That's just his hands. It's just been worn off. His hair's rubbed. He got a lot of play. Someone really loved this Han. And now this is the fun part here. I love it when I have two figures together because then you can really check condition by comparing two to each other. Now, I don't remember this guy's name. I think he's one of these, rough types. I think he was a bounty hunter probably, or something like that. I think he came out in Empire Strikes Back. I think he's a bad guy. But you can see they're both fairly similar. The difference would be that you see how much more white the one on my right is than the left. That's a good sign. I mean, it means he's got less discoloration. Definitely a little bit dirtier face, although they both have kind of dirty faces. Also, the green on the right figure is a lighter color and brighter. Now, maybe it's that the one on the left is a worse condition. Maybe it's that these are two different variations made in two different factories, and they're just not identical. Now, that could be the case, and again, I would need to, be more, have more research and be more familiar with these in order to say. But it's kind of flipping over as well. The bottoms of the feet, they're okay. These are all right, but we got some kind of some color discoloration there. Other than being dirty, they're really not that bad of condition. They're both roughly the same, but I would probably, if I was keeping one and selling one, I would probably keep this one on the right because it has a brighter tone than this one on the left. Still digging into this. Here we have, I believe this is called a Snow Trooper. Also very cool looking kind of helmet and kind of face guard thing there. He needs to be cleaned, but in pretty good condition aside from a little bit of that discoloration. And we got this little character. I do not remember his name, folks. I'm sorry, but he does come with this little kind of like an apron type thing on here. It's purple. It's got these little ties. Got these kind of like, he's got this very toothy grin here. 1980, so I'm assuming this is from The Empire Strikes Back. We got another Ewok here. Pretty good condition. He's missing his accessories, as all of them seem to be. But he's fine. Clean him up a little bit, he'll be just fine. And we got Luke here. You'll know that, now he's missing some accessories as well. I believe he came with a cape and a lightsaber, but you can see on the right here, he's got a glove. That's because this is after Darth Vader had chopped off his wrist, and so he has the mechanical arm at this point. And he's got kind of this, I'd say in between, actually it's probably the brown. So there's a couple of different variations. There's really, really light colored yellow hair, and then there's kind of a mustard color, and then there's a brown. I know based on the color into this video, it's gonna look like it's mustard, but it really is more of a brown color in natural light. Here we have one of these bounty hunter, I think, type creatures, and he's got this little felt sort of like belt skirt type thing, but you can see that some serious damage on that. Part of that has ripped off over time. So he's, not best condition. When we got, here's a Luke right here. And he has kind of that, like a brighter yellow hair, as you can see. He does not have a lightsaber or anything like that, unfortunately. And he's also heavily worn, kind of like the Han. I mean, these were the main characters, the good guys, right? And so they got a lot more play. They had more parts than a lot of these others, like Chewbacca, for example. Well, that's actually maybe not a great example. But like this one, there's not as much of that kind of paint to get worn off, whereas it seems like places like the belt and the accessory packs and the hair and the shoes seem to wear faster and easier than some of the other ones. And then we got old Chewbacca here. Actually, his paint on his belt is in pretty good condition. His eyes are nice and bright blue and white. On the back, you can see how this is like a darker kind of, almost like a, I don't know, this is like a brighter, lighter brown color of the body than the limbs. And then his pack kind of has this like almost greenish iridescence to the outside of it. Missing his accessories, but still, we're really in a good spot here. Okay, the final grouping of characters here. I've got, I still got Obi-Wan over here with his lightsaber. He is ready to go in case anything comes to try to interrupt me here. I found this in here. I think, I don't know for sure, I need to research. I think that this went to the Luke character when he was wearing black in Return of the Jedi. I think because when he went to Jabba's palace, he was wearing a cloak. But I'm not sure. I'll research that. Here we have, this is just sort of, I believe this is from Hoth. And this is some sort of like guard, or like, not guard, but army men or something out there. I think that this is that character that came out maybe just before Luke did, and when he did, a lot of people thought it was Luke and played with him like he was Luke, and then Luke came out very similar. In fact, here you are. Let me pull him back in. You can see the similarities here. This guy's got a paler face, but they're just sort of similar in look. But he's not Luke. He's a different character here. But this, of course, is in Empire Strikes Back in the beginning when they're on the ice planet having that battle. And now we have another droid. And I don't remember this one's name either, but he's got this cool little mouth thing in a tube that plugs into the side here. Kind of this light-colored clear plastic, gray plastic and blue. I just think it's a cool-looking droid. It's different, you know, than a lot of these other ones. The arm is different. It's similar in some ways to the IG-88 character in the construction of it, but of course, we didn't get an IG-88 in this lot. All right, now we've got Hoth Han. So this is from Hoth again. He was out looking for Luke when he was out stranded in the snow. He's got terrible wear. And I was reading some forums talking about how a lot of people think that this particular character is the hardest one to find in good condition. There are so many parts and issues, or so many places on here that can be worn heavily. The legs, the gloves, the belt area, the neck part, all of the head area, and you can see he's heavily worn, plus he's dirty. There is a variant I've heard where he has what they call molded legs. So this particular leg, if you look at it, you can see the dark areas. That's where this painted portion, it's actually blue. All of this is blue under here, and then this portion's been painted. But there is a variant where they just molded the legs, and it's just hard plastic. There's no paint on it, and those are much more valuable in the hundreds of dollars, $100 to $200 I've seen them sell for. Love to come across one of those by accident someday, but I don't know if I'll be that lucky. Now we got a cool character, pretty simplistic, but this is what they call the Imperial Guard, a guardsman. And if you'll recall, there were a couple of them at least, and they were guarding the Emperor's chambers. All right. There's a part in time when at the end there, Luke's there, he says, "Guards, leave us." And these two red cloaked guards leave the area. And so, cool, Imperial Guards, they come with a big, long, gray staff. We don't have one in here. That's okay. Moving on. All right, guys, I saved the best two for last. And you'll know why. First off, again, I saw this. It's in excellent condition, first of all. Second of all, his cape is intact and not torn. It does not appear to be torn. Great condition. He has his lightsaber, and the little portion here, even though it's bent, is intact. And I'm so excited about that. So happy. I'm going to move him over here. And then, of course, guess who this is? This right here is Anakin. So Anakin becomes Darth Vader. And the thing that's special about this character, folks, is that there's a grouping of these characters made called the Last 17. It's called Last 17 because it was the last 17 figures made in the series. And this particular figure, Anakin, was in that last series, 1985. You can tell by looking at this, folks, that he is in, I wouldn't say immaculate condition, but he's in really good shape. And the thing about the figures in the last 17 is that they're incredibly difficult to find compared to the others. I'm not saying you can't find them. I'm just saying that they're harder. And when you do find them, they command much higher prices, much higher prices. This is probably, now, there's a difference between selling this to collectors on like forums on Facebook Marketplace and on eBay. But on eBay, given his condition, I could sell this particular figure for probably $50 or more without any sort of accessories. And I actually don't know if he came with accessories or not. I have to look. But when I saw this lot, which I haven't said yet, but I purchased at shopgoodwill.com, online Goodwill. Goodwill sells online? Why, yes, they do. I bought this at Goodwill online, and they just had all these figures dumped in there, just like you saw. But I could tell, I couldn't even see his head. This is what I saw. This is what I saw right here, in here. But because I knew enough, I knew that this was one of the last 17 characters. And so I bid for this entire lot, which I need to add up now, the characters. I paid somewhere in the range, I say in the range. I paid exactly $292 plus shipping costs. So around $300 for this lot. It came with the case, with all these figures, and, a couple accessories here. These, I'm going to have to count them up. But we've got one of the last 17 figures, which I personally did not have. We got Ben with a telescope and a lightsaber. We have a really good condition Darth Vader with a telescope and lightsaber. I am quite pleased, actually, with this purchase. So let me add them up, and we'll see where we're at. We have 40 different figures, and here we go. This is what came in the lot. I'm just going to scroll across here. Very cool representation of different figures that actually span all three of the initial Star Wars movies that came out in the 70s and 80s. And I'm especially excited, as I said before, about these three figures here at the end. To me, this whole thing was worth these figures. I also have a couple of accessories here. I'm happy about that. If you ever see these out and about at yard sales, at thrift stores, maybe you have some in your garage, in your closet, in your attic. You haven't played with them for a lot of years. You need to know, folks, that in the condition that these are in, which is pretty rough and pretty dirty, you can oftentimes sell these for between $5 and $10 a piece. In some cases more, depending on the one you have, without accessories. If they come with their guns and accessories, they can go for quite a bit more than that. Always, always keep a lookout for vintage Star Wars characters. All right, folks, I am very excited. I have not even dumped these out yet. I was done. I was done with the video. I was about to put these up, and I just looked in here in the case to make sure that there wasn't anything that I was missing, any guns or stuff, because that would definitely make it really awesome. And then I remembered that some of these have this little little trapdoor type thing over here. I opened it up, and this is what I saw. Now, if you are a collector of Star Wars figures, you will understand why I am so excited. Now, I've not poured these out yet. I don't even know what's in here, but I'm going to do it right now. When I bought these on Goodwill, they did not open this door. I did not know that there were any accessories. In fact, had they shown these, I don't think I would have won this lot, because I'm pretty sure other people would have known more than I did, and they would have definitely bidded higher than me. Okay, I thought I could do this with the phone in my hand, but let me get them all out and then I'll show you. All right, you are looking at 35 different weapons in this lot. Now, what I don't know is every one of these a Star Wars weapon? For example, this, I'm not familiar with that. I don't know if that's a Star Wars weapon or not. These blue ones definitely are. Some of these little blasters like this. What is that? I don't know if that's a Star Wars one or not. This one up here, this little rifle, I tend to think that it's not. But then these little ones right here, these are little blasters. I recognize those. I don't know about this one. This one I think is. That one is. This is the little one that goes, if I'm not incorrect, with this, I think it goes with this little scout trooper there. I am just over the moon excited. This, I believe, goes with one of the Ewoks. I can't remember which one, as does this. This is the gray one. I think the brown one, like this, went with, or it was similar to that. Okay, so this is either one that goes with the Rancor Keeper, or this goes with some of those bounty hunters. I can't remember. You guys who know your stuff know. But folks, I'm so excited. No joking. I think I could probably sell every single one of these for $10 a piece. And there's 35 here. Now, a couple of these, let's just say that 30 out of the 35 are from Star Wars. I think I could sell them for $10 a piece. That's $300. My money, if I was to sell this, I could make my money back on the entire lot just from these weapons. If I tried to sell this entire lot of figures plus the weapons, shoot, I could maybe make $100 or more that way. But the smart way to do it is to sell these individually. I'm so excited, folks. If you happen to know something about this, or you can tell me which one of these are authentic and which ones are not, like this may be not authentic. I I don't remember. I'll have to do my research, but thank you for joining me on this. Guys, I'm so excited. I came away with an Anakin. I came away with some telescoping lightsabers and all these weapons. And I got a bunch of cleaning to do, but I'm going to make some good money on this too. Thank you for joining me on this adventure, folks. Get out there, but keep these in mind. Cousins, from all of us down here at the warehouse, thanks so much for joining this video with us. Next time you're out, make sure you don't pass on vintage Star Wars characters, okay?
Beep, boop, boop. Let's go make some money. Rusty, Rusty, have